Hello and welcome to my channel, The Astral Guide. I'm Shireen, and in this video I'm going to be talking about karma and balance and how all of this applies to the subconscious and the conscious mind. So I'm going to give an example and I'm going to talk about some things that are very much in the collective theme very strongly right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and start with the dream this time. And this is part 2 of this dream series. So if you've been watching this, I really recommend for you to get the most out of it to watch series 1 first, because I'm kind of doing these in chapters, so it's easier to follow and you'll have the most benefit out of it by watching the series from beginning to now. So I had this dream, I'd say it was about 3 or 4 years ago. A lot of things happened to me about 3 or 4 years ago, and I will explain what happened around that time in my life later. So I was very, very in tune with the law of karma, which is balance, which is duality, which everything is built on in this system that we're in. There's absolutely no getting away from it. There's no getting out of it. Man, woman, night, day, awake, asleep, good, bad, so on and so forth. And it keeps us in check. It creates contrasts. It creates challenges, good and bad, for our growth. Not always easy, but rewarding when we apply it properly to our lives, and when we understand what's happening to us through other people in our lives as well. So this dream was very to the point, and I do tend to pay attention to the detail, or the more hidden detail in dreams. So I was dreaming I was just in a street, and this group of women came toward me, and one woman stood out, and she was karma herself. You know, karma is a bee, well, depending on which side of her you're on, right? So she was kind of like an emo, you know, in my astral, that's how she showed up. She kind of had this emo look about her. And I kind of thought about that, and I said, you know, that actually makes sense. So I love rock and roll, obviously. I love all kinds of music. But rock and roll itself is also rock and roll, balance of, you know, steady and flow. So it's not, you know, it's not a big surprise that she showed up to me like in that way. And I started to learn a lot more about the law of duality, because I was paying so much attention. And she showed me that she was actually really cool, you know, she was really cool. And this energy is within all of us, and it's very highlighted in the subconscious. So if we're doing something wrong, it's going to show up in our dreams. If we're doing something right, it's going to show up. Synchronicities are going to show up everywhere to direct us. You know, I was speaking to somebody about this just a while ago, when I was trying to explain what synchronicities are, and they're really just signposts to show you that you're going in the right direction. And those signposts can also show you when you're going in the wrong direction. They can, and they get very strong. They get very strong. Things will constantly show up, and this is happening faster and faster and more frequently. I've noticed, well, for myself and for other people. And this brings me back to this duality thing, you know, the whole illusion of separation that everybody's talking about. So another thing I wanted to highlight about this is division. So we have science and spirituality. Again, duality. So you don't have to pick a side. This is old narrative, old stories. We need both here to work, but we need we need the right kind of science and the right kind of spirituality. I don't even want to call it spirituality anymore, because it's getting very contaminated, this field. I rather just stick to consciousness, or being conscious. But anyway, for reference sake, we'll stick to spirituality. And I was noticing for quite a while that they're really starting to merge together on a much higher level, which is fascinating, and it's a relief, actually, for me. Because I've been paying attention. I had my finger on the pulse for quite a while with this stuff, and both fields, are important. I respect both. Both are needed. What would we do without science? What would we do without our phones? What would we do? There doesn't have to be a side to pick. Again, it's duality working together, yin and yang, giving, receiving. It all has to come together. It all has to work together. And I'm really starting to see that's taken a huge role here. Current situation that we're all in.